I wrote a poem for tonight, a long one that's in 3 parts, which I'm going to read, and then I have a couple more to read to you. So, Love Actually, it's called. 1. Letting Go. I have carried too many bodies for too long. Dead father, dead brother, ex-husband, old lovers. They get in the way of everything. I walk into a therapist's room, 2 chairs face each other. The therapist sits off to the side. She points for me to sit in a chair facing the closed door. Don't be sad, she says. I can see you want to let them go. It's time. I sit, close my eyes, wait for it, the knock. The apparition enters. How long have we hated each other, I wonder. Looking into your eyes, I see dark, deep brown with flecks of gold. Your face morphs like a kaleidoscope, many faces, reflecting, colliding, spinning, all ones who tripped me up, stole a piece of me. In the room, clenched fists and hot tears dissolve like ghosts rushing through. I can no longer hold this lava. Speak to it, she says. Words tumble from my mouth, a sudden wind, leaves twisting. I forgive you for telling me my knees are ugly. I forgive you for not telling me you were married, so many lies. I forgive you for portraying me as stingy and jealous. I forgive you for betraying me. I forgive you for threatening to leave. I forgive you for your bitterness toward me. I forgive you for being kind and tender to everyone but me. I forgive you for writing lists of things for me to do. I forgive you for thinking I am the moon. I am the sun, always rising every morning. How long will I have to sit in this chair? Until you are full, says the therapist, or empty. My list grows shorter. She has been taking notes. I stand and glance at her page of scribbles. Let's go for a walk, the therapist says, and motions towards the door. I walk ahead on the street. It is twilight. We walk toward the river that flows into the sea. Do not give up on yourself, she says. Forgiveness is not driven by pleasure or approval. Don't give up on your freedom for love, actually. It is the warm welling up feeling you feel when you hold a baby chick in your hands. 2. Selfie. There is a mirror on the wall. I see myself. Eyes are green with flecks of brown. I gaze at my reflection until I can no longer focus. I look away and pace. My sister enters the room and says, "When is the last time you felt okay?" I say I'm not good enough at anything. I will never get any better. Why do we always do that to ourselves? My sister asks. Yeah, why? I say. But I know why. I look in the mirror. Who else could I treat this poorly and would stick around? No one. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness, my sister whispers in my ear. My eyes soften. I talk to the image in the mirror. I forgive you for talking shit about yourself constantly, for telling lies, for hiding, for not being honest even in your mind, for needing to please others to the point of being a marshmallow on a stick burned crispy on a campfire, for all the unkind words you have spoken and thought, for letting men sexualize your body, for mistaking that for love, for wanting to be perfect and pushing yourself too hard, for being lazy and shouldering things off to be done tomorrow, for thinking you should be the one to die. I forgive you. I smile. I forgive you. My sister hugs me, whispers, "It's never been your fault." I feel her love for me in my love for her. Just then, a hummingbird flits on a bush outside the window. I swear it winks and flits away. The story. I walk barefoot to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. The quiet house hums in its aloneness. It is pleasant, contained. There is no need. No need to look out for more. Content. When a bird crashes into my window and lays on the ground, I go outside and hold it until the bird is no longer stunned. Soon after that, I meet you. This begins our journey. Early days tumble one into the next, your small dog on your lap while you finish the crossword puzzle in ink. We skated on each other's hips, hair tangled, lips pressed. I watched you smoke and stare out the window. Tried to imagine what you were thinking. Many times I almost worked up the nerve to talk about us, but you were recovering from a nasty divorce. You came home with pictures of our friends at a party. When was this? I asked, thinking it was before we met. I know how a film sits in a camera and you forget to get it developed. But the party was last week. Why didn't you take me? Oh, you said. I don't want to be seen as a couple. But we've been a couple for almost a year. What was I missing? 3 days later at a therapist's office, you say, I don't want to be doing this anymore. She says, you have to hear him. I can't believe it. I know I love him. I'm pretty sure he loves me. I can't see through my tears and barely make it home. A 3-day detox of sorrow and sobs until suddenly the sky clears. I smooth out my skirt. The phone rings. Can we talk? I think I am not signing up for this again. Still, I can listen. He can't hurt me any worse. I say yes, but you have to come over. He arrives wearing a black shirt. He says, I realized I wanted to be with someone, and I want to be with a woman just like you. When I said I don't want to do this anymore, I meant I wanted to do something different. I take it and say, well, you said the only thing that could sway me. I think that's what love is, actually. Doing something new. Like when a bird crashes into a window he didn't see. You wait for him to fly free. So I don't know what that has, if anything, to do with the movie. It just... right? It's just my story. And this poem is called The House of Books. And this poem, I would say, I wrote this poem recently, not for this tonight, but it's a nice antecedent to the last story. They live in a house with a few precious books. A young man and woman in a white room with a lamp, a rust-colored couch, and a big easy chair. She reads a poem aloud that delights her. He claps, says, that's a good one. She is young, thinned, stretched out on a linen duvet, laughing. He takes her picture. Now, all their ages live in the same house filled with things, an avalanche of books, papers, bowls, pieces of pottery, napkins. He takes a nap. She searches the shelves for a book. Her hands come back dusty. We have to pare down, she says, waking him. Tomorrow, he says, tomorrow. She can't find the book she's looking for. Instead, grabs a book of poetry he gave her last Christmas. Reads the first poem in the poet's last book. He gasps at the last line. So good. They both dream of the young man and woman in the nearly empty house swimming back to them, stroke after stroke into the blue depth of field. Not sure what it will take, how many boxes they will have to fill to become empty again. I'm not done. And then I'm going to read you, actually, do I have time for two? Yeah, I'm going to do two poems. This is from my book, What the Body Remembers. And I I have a poem that my tennis pro read my book and fell in love with me. She didn't like me before because she thought I was arrogant. That's because I'm tall and she's short. But that's another story. Anyway, this is her favorite poem of mine, which she felt I saw her. It's called Renaming Depression. And it has a little epigraph from Stephen Dunn. And the Eskimos with 26 words for snow, such a fine alertness to what variously presses down, by Stephen Dunn. Call it despair. Sleepless nights waking at 4 a.m., the mind racing to the next chore and the next until they screech and peel out, leaving rubber on the pavement. Call it heartache, the emptiness inside the barrel of the body, the well where no coins drop, where hellos come back disembodied. Call it melancholia. A low-spirited self lifts up like heavy drapes full of dust. You wheeze and weep. Call it despondency. A teddy bear stuck with a pin. It does not respond. The teddy always grins. Until you find it lifeless stuffing strewn across the nursery floor. Don't call it moody or mumpish. Although you are swollen and out of shape, it is not sorrow or grief, because no one has died. Not anyone you can give a funeral to or actually bury. You are not morose or somber, because those words imply something happened to cause you pain. This feeling of hopelessness now exists in spite of your mother. You are eating out your heart. To your horror, you find yourself with trembling hands. You cannot eat real food, just the stored up food of self. You are listless all Sunday long, the worst day for its lack of structure. Soul sick, everything and nothing you can do preys on your mind. You are sullen, gloomy, in the dumps, and not really very good company. Even though I poke fun for relief, it hurts when I manage to understand such despair. I am disheartened by your desolate soul. I would put my hand in front of the nails, but like Mary, I have to watch this pain until you come back to life and learn once more love, light, wind, fire, and the pleasure of earth when plants grow and move the dirt aside. My last poem is called Poem to Save a Marriage, and it goes like this. Please notice the delicate blue petal, 3-petal flowers on the windowsill, and also that I've washed our dinner dishes from last night. And as I like to say, it didn't work. That was for a different note.